Hi, my name is Joe Jackson. I'm a journalist, author, broadcaster, documentarian, and interviewer who's kept all the tapes from my 1,400 or so interviews. What follows is a short clip from one of the 4 interviews I did with Kris Kristofferson over a period of about a decade. I'd loved Kristofferson's music since I heard his first album circa 1973, so you can imagine how delighted I was 20 years later to meet him for the first time to do the interview you're about to hear backstage at a Johnny Cash show in Dublin. What follows is the part of our chat where we talk about his role in the movie A Star is Born, Chris's fondness for tequila at the time, and the fact that the death scene in that movie snapped him awake rather fast to the fact that this is how it all could end for him if he didn't stop indulging. One wonders if the same thing might have happened to Elvis Presley if, as Barbra Streisand originally wanted, Elvis had responded more favourably to her offer to play the role. If you want to read some of my articles and find out what other tapes I may have in case you might want to use them for a documentary, check out joejacksoninterviewer.com.
Did you get heavily into drugs in the 70s, or was that, I've read that happened after Heaven's Gate, you got depressed and got
I
heavily
didn't.
into
Nah,
drugs?
that isn't true either.
Right,
I didn't
okay.
get. In fact, I was cleaner longer after Heaven's Gate than any time in my life. I've always, when I used to drink a lot, and smoked a lot of grass, popped a lot of pills back when I was
Would you have
first
done
out.
that on all those albums I have? Would you have been high on most of the recordings?
I would probably have been drinking on it. I can hear myself drunk on all them early
Can
ones.
you?
All the early ones. And I quit drinking heavy quite a while ago. I kept smoking, and then I quit everything right after Heaven's Gate because I was a single father.
All right.
And I was raising this kid, and for a couple of years I was totally clean. But I still take a smoke now and then, and I'll drink a beer now and then. But I don't want to get drunk.
There were lots of reports of, like, on the set of A Star is Born that you'd start drinking Jack Daniels and stuff like that at dawn and stay drunk because you either were very unhappy.
Tequila. I drank a lot during that time. Well, also I could. You know, it's like you could get away with it. You know, it was like they filled up this bottle for me in my trailer, and everybody thought, well, look at and I was doing a good job. I was doing my work.
Yeah.
And Christ, if you can feel that way, and if you're inclined to be that kind of person, I don't know a time that I haven't wanted to feel higher than I am.
Sure.
At a particular time, if they allow you to do it.
If they help you.
Yeah.
I saw a quote where you say something like, "I welcome oblivion as an old friend sometimes."
Well, that was more in that time.
Was it?
Because everything was catching up to me very fast at that time in my life. And I'd gone, you got to understand, from 200 miles out in the Gulf of Mexico. I mean, sitting out there with a guitar all by myself. The guys didn't even particularly want to hear me. The guys that are stuck out there. And to go from there and never having played any place in Nashville, never even considered, and to all of a sudden, you're up there on these billboards.
Sure.
You're with Barbra Streisand. You're with first-class people all over the place, and everybody is paying attention to what you're doing. The scrutiny is very difficult, and if everybody is also allowing you something to stick in your nose or to smoke or to drink, the temptation is to go with the flow.
Yeah. Did you? I read a lot about Elvis. A lot of his fans would have liked him to take that part because they would hope.
I read a thing late.
Right.
That he had. I knew there was all kinds of people that they were considering.
Chasing. Yeah.
And I hadn't heard of Elvis doing it, but they told me. I was off on tour at the time, and they told me a different person every week was going to be Mick Jagger or Bob Dylan or Elvis,
Well, the thing I read was that you said, or it's apparently reported that you said when you saw yourself drunk on that part, you woke up to yourself. You woke up to
that was absolutely true.
Like
Well, it was like
5 minutes.
Yeah. It was. I'll still remember the experience, but looking down there and saying, "Wow, this is the way it is."
This is at a preview of the movie.
Yeah. She had just put it together. Right. And I'd never seen what we had done.
All right. You didn't see rushes or any of that stuff?
I saw occasionally, but I didn't. I used to get my head up. So it moved me profoundly, and I thought of what I was doing to the people around me. I had a brand new daughter at the time, and the thought of leaving her alone was out of question for me. So I quit drinking.
Because you could see it ending like that.
Yes, absolutely. I said that's the way it's going to end. That's it. Because I'd wrecked cars, I totaled cars, I totaled motorcycles. I was very accident prone.
Right.
And how much of that is intentional stuff. I better get ready for this.
Okay.
Then we'll come back.
Okay.
Hi, Joe Jackson here again. I thank you for listening to this edition of the Joe Jackson Interviews podcast. And don't forget to check out my archive, joejacksoninterviewer.com.